22 minutes to 9. Why is today's American election close? Why is a convicted felon, a man so wild and reckless in his speech, so contemptuous of so much of American life, within grasp again of the White House? Might it be because the entire political class either failed to see something happening in American society or did see it but did nothing about it? Professor Ali Hochschild thinks that's exactly what happened. Her studies of the Trump phenomenon have been noticed by senior Democrats, though possibly too late to act on her advice. I asked her to set out the appeal of Donald Trump.
All the bad things that have happened to the whole nation have hit harder the non-college class. I think all of those things over time have created a big prosperity divide between people with BAs and people without. That's the new knife that cuts our country.
People with BAs, people with four-year college degrees and people without.
Exactly. That's the big one. And actually, recent research has shown that whites without BA degrees have actually sunk in the last 2 decades. So there's a sense of, gosh, I'm working hard, but I'm not getting there. And gosh, how come these other groups are doing better than me?
And I suppose politically, the obvious question would be, why didn't the Democrats see all of this happening and take action?
Yes, exactly. And in fact, you could say Bill Clinton, Democrat, signed NAFTA and actually made it harder for the very people he thought he was and was seen as representing. So there's disappointment with the Democrats, but also labor unions used to be the middleman between the white working class and the Democratic Party. And now it's just 9% of the private sector workers are represented by unions, so that the main structure is gone and hasn't been replaced. So all of this has, I think, led people to kind of give up on either party. A sinking sector kind of thought, hey, the government, the regular government, doesn't see us, isn't answering our needs, either Republicans or Democrats. And so they turned to a charismatic figure. And charismatic leadership is really different from what Max Weber calls rational legal leadership. A rational legal leader would be like Joe Biden, who says, hey, look, I did the Build Back Better bill. Look at the bill, look at the Inflation Reduction Act. I did that. Look at that. Don't look at me. Whereas the charismatic leader, like Donald Trump, says, no, only look at me. I don't actually have a program, but I personally will represent your feelings.
Can I ask you this? A commentator was saying recently that with Richard Nixon, yes, he told lies, but in a sense he had a respect for the truth because he knew the difference between the truth and the lies. And with Donald Trump, this commentator was suggesting he actually doesn't know or care about the difference. He was comparing Trump actually to P.T. Barnum, the man who essentially invented circuses, that there's a kind of maelstrom of stuff going on, and that in itself is interesting and very difficult to challenge.
Yes. In a way, as we look to this election, Trump may lose the election, but in a way, he's already won a cultural victory of he's changed our feeling about the importance of feeling. It's more important to feel something's true than to actually show it's true. And also, he's kind of changed what I would call the feeling rules. Like, it's okay to feel extremely angry and mean. He's legitimated rage and aggression in a lot of different ways. January 6th, he's praising those who were indicted for the break-in as now patriots. In 2020, he had metal detectors removed, saying it's okay to bring arms to the Capitol. He's made personal attacks to General Mark Milley, Joint Chiefs of Staff, that he should be executed. So he talks in a more aggressive way, and now we've got used to it.
Do you think if Kamala Harris were to win, that the Democrats would now wake up to the things that you have described and the failure of the party to address them in the past? Is there anything kind of that realistically suggests to you that she gets it in a way that Clinton, in a sense Obama as well, didn't?
I think so, yes. I think that the whole Democratic Party has been shaken to its core. They see that they've been asleep, and there have been a huge social trend that I hadn't been tracking, and it's bigger and more important and has been mobilized by a new figure. And I think they've had their wake-up call. And I've had a bunch of calls actually from the Democratic Party asking, hey, once we get in, what can we do?
And that was Professor Ali Hochschild talking to me earlier.
It is coming up to 8:45.